I have a fundamental problem with how the Democratic Party is approaching the 2024 election, and I can't vote for Biden as a result. In his advanced age, I believe that it is fair to consider that Biden might not complete a second term if elected president, and I'm not alone. In fact, the majority of American citizens are wondering this question, so it's a fair question to ask. Back in 2019 and 2020, it was also a topic of conversation amongst many people that I knew. We all assumed that because of the insinuations that the campaign was putting forward and actual words that the advisors were saying, we assumed that if he was elected, Joe Biden would likely only serve one term before turning over the reins to a younger generation. We gave into the pervasive media push that Biden was the only one capable of beating Trump in the 2020 election, and we believed that his administration, if elected, would take potential candidates for future presidencies under their wings and help guide and prepare them. That doesn't seem to have happened. In fact, I believe all of us would have been better served by sticking to our initial instincts that drew us to other candidates early in the primaries. Now, I know many of you are probably screaming that Kamala Harris is the fulfillment of that insinuated promise, that she is the future of the party as president. The truth is, I'd be willing to give you that point if it was indeed her name first on the ballot. But she isn't. Instead, the establishment is set on putting Biden out there one more time, despite his advanced age, his dismal approval ratings, and his ramblings and missteps at the podiums these days. It has become very clear that the Democratic Party doesn't want us voting for the actual president. They want us to vote for the entrenched bureaucracy that is propping up the figurehead. It is why they don't seem to have a concern that Biden might seriously struggle in a second term for obvious reasons. They will always be there to create and execute an agenda that the public doesn't have an awareness of. They've got their plans. We don't know them, because they're not there standing at the podium. Biden is, and that is where our accountability is lost. In my opinion, electing a president is to elect the individual who's accountable for his or her own actions. The president's decisions matter on a global scale, and we should have the right and responsibility to get to know and understand the person who is leading us. Today, I don't believe that we are being provided that presidential responsibility for the people. More often than not, I cringe with embarrassment as I watch President Biden fumble his way through political press conferences. I have a very difficult time believing that the man standing at those podiums is capable of a grueling 24/7 task of running the most powerful country in the world history. And furthermore, I don't want to vote for a man such as that, only to see the vice president take over shortly into a second term. If the general public is essentially voting for Kamala Harris as president, then her name should be at the top of the ticket so that people can make their informed decisions. As is, it seems that we are yet again thought of as lemmings on our obedient march off the edge of a cliff. I'm sick of being manipulated. I'm sick of being told to ignore common sense by the Democratic Party. And this is the reason why I'm making my decision to vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in 2024.